Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 5225 Southeast Hill Road here in Milwaukee. We're located up on the rooftop. We're going through the main vent stack here as our point of access. I'm not able to find any cleanouts in the basement or on the exterior. We're going through this. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. Once we get the cobwebs cleaned off the camera here, we'll be on our way. Now there's another vent that's down on the ground, or I guess if you're looking at the house from the front, I guess it would be on the left side, or the side that faces out to the neighbor, kind of to the rear of the house. There is a small vent out there. It's about 1.5 inches that I originally put my ear to it and could hear water flowing through. So we attempted that one first. Unfortunately, the whole vent was clogged up with leaves and paint and rust and all kinds of junk, so we can't use that. So anyway, that's something you may want to try and get cleaned out of there. It looks like everything's free-flowing here so far. It's kind of an oddly, the one down on the ground anyway, is kind of a strangely placed vent, but anyway, might need some cleaning. So it transitions here over to concrete immediately upon access, or at least at the base of the vent. It looks like 6-inch concrete. And then we hit a Y connection here. This appears to be 6-inch concrete as best I can tell. We've got another pipe coming in right here, and I can see water flowing out of it. So right now we've got a kitchen sink running. We also have a bathtub running. So they appear to be using two different, or it looks like there's multiple lines coming out of the house that tie into everything. So that's what that is there. Unfortunately, we don't really have good access to any of them other than through the roof vent. So the other pipes, I will not be able to scope them. Not without clean-out access being created. Hoping is that this line doesn't go for 300 or 400 feet, because it's the way this property is set up. It doesn't have too many options as the direction to go. So we're going to take this out as far as we can possibly take it here, and hopefully we have enough camera to do so. Okay, so right here, we're going to back up a little bit. We are definitely, looks like, coming into a larger diameter pipe here. If you look at the top of this pipe as we come up to that opening, you'll see once we get into the opening here, the pipe diameter is much bigger. Now this would appear to be the terminus of the sewer line here. I'm going to let the line drain out for a moment so we can have a better look at this. We're going to put a white T marking down on the ground, down near the garage, just to indicate where this is at exactly. What I would recommend, given how many different connections there are, that first Y connection into the concrete makes me a little nervous that it's a party line, which is not always a big deal depending on the county you're in. We're in Clackamas County here, which is a lot less stringent on party line connections than Multnomah, but I'm still going to recommend you look into it and verify that it's okay. We've got a little standing water here in the line. I think we have some small amount of water still trickling through. You can see some of that water there is rippling. It's still moving, so most of that is probably not even standing water. And it's very, very minimal. It's nothing that's really going to affect the flow. Now, the concrete pipe here, at least at this point, is actually still in fairly decent condition. I'm not seeing a whole lot of aggregate rock showing through. It's getting a little rough in the flow line, but really not a whole lot different than the top of the pipe. That little stringy item there is just some dental floss. So this tie-in right here, this is from this house. We had water flowing through that, and we're at 11 feet. We're right up against the home here. And that I believe there is from the kitchen sink. What we had flowing down the stack is going to be from the bathroom tub that we had running. Now we're seeing a little bit more aggregate rock here, but it's still fairly minimal. It's not at a point where I would say just repair it and tear it up. We're not quite there yet. And I'm going to put a marking here. This is the one that makes me kind of nervous here, is that this first Y connection, you can see that pipe originates from somewhere off to the left. And so I don't know if the neighbor's house back here is tied onto it. The current buyer seems to think that is the case. So I would certainly recommend looking into that. And I think records are indicating that house is tied in. So I would just double check, make sure that the city is okay with this current configuration here. I'm going to go put a marking down where this is at as well. But as far as the concrete goes there, it's flowing nicely, and it's still in fairly good shape. It's not at a point where it needs to be updated yet. Okay, I put a marking out back here, right about where the stack exits the house, or the line exits the house. White T marking there. I would look into it. This one here makes me think that you likely have some other house connected to it. So you want to look into that, make sure that is conforming. We're going to go ahead and reel the camera on out of the line. Although the pipe is all original and on the older end, it's still in fairly good condition, has good flow and is functioning properly at this time. Now this right here, our vent stack is disconnected. Now what's mostly concerning about that, it looks like you're likely venting gas into the wall for one thing, but any rainwater coming down this pipe here could actually get inside the wall of the house. So that is concerning there. And we're going to try and you can actually see it. It's about, or I can see it from looking down the vent right here. From the top of the vent, it's about 4 feet down inside the house. So that's likely up in the attic space there, more than likely anyway. Either attic or in the wall, but that one I would highly recommend looking into there. I'm going to zero out right here at the top of the vent, just so I can get an accurate measurement here. From the top of the vent down in, we are at 4 feet from the top of the vent down into the house here, where that is disconnected at. So I would recommend getting that fixed. That can lead to a couple different problems. Moisture intrusion, sewer gas venting into spaces you don't want it to, stuff like that. The line itself, though, aside from the vent, is functioning properly at this time.